The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, man. I hope everybody's up and at it and doing the thing and ready to get after it this morning, man. What a great weekend it was, man. We had a great cryptocurrency push up come through this weekend, which was a shocker. We usually don't get a push up on the weekend, man, but it was a hell of a push up. This weekend, Bitcoin broke another all-time high. What the hell else is new? Bitcoin breaks all-time highs every day now. So what the hell else is new, right? Like this thing just continually breaks all-time highs, right? Bitcoin's absolutely on the move. And a lot of news, man. Got Crypto Week this week. Got the Genius Act getting ready to possibly go through. We've been talking about that forever. We have cryptocurrency here in the United States, I should say. I know my man Ken's over there in the EU, taking all the profits out of the EU market. But, here in the United States, you got the Genius Act. Looks like it's getting ready to flow. And then we have the Regulatory Clarity Act that looks like it's going to flow this week as well. And then we have the CBDC bill, which is basically going to make it law that the United States doesn't have a CBDC. All of that's bullish for cryptocurrency, guys. All of that's bullish for the markets. Of course, you have Crypto Week over there in Congress, and of course, you have other people who aren't calling it Crypto Week. They're calling it Anti-Crypto Week, like Maxine Waters, who came out with a statement calling it Anti-Crypto Week, her Elizabeth Warren, so on and so forth. Saying that it's corrupt and cryptocurrency is corrupt and all this and that. And, they're going to fight the good fight as long as they can. But, they're not saying that the stock market's corrupt when they're over there making millions and millions of dollars as they're sitting in Congress and getting inside information and trading stocks. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? But it doesn't matter. The bottom line is the Genius Act is probably going to go. The cryptocurrency Clarity Act will probably go, and the CBDC bill probably go as well. And then on the flip side of that, Trump's talking about he's going to come out with a announcement possibly today in regards to Russia, Ukraine. He's sending more anti-missile defense systems over to Ukraine. Which is going to help them guys out. So we still got all this stuff going on, man. We got all this stuff up in the air here around the world. And, we can trade the markets that are in front of our face, man. And the markets are absolutely sending it, especially crypto. Absolutely just freaking sending it. I put out a video, which I've been doing so many shorts. I haven't really put out a long form video. But I put one out this weekend about the cryptos that we're going to watch this week. Look to take some long positions in and, try to stack these bags. But other than that, man, happy freaking Monday to everybody, man. What the hell is going on, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Selmo? Good morning, my brother. We missed you on Friday, man. Curtis, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Junior, good morning. We missed you on Friday too, Junior. Ken, good morning, my brother. Good morning, good early afternoon to you. How are you? How are you? How are you, man? Yeah, Curtis, the potential is looking really good right now. I think the markets are setting up. Crypto markets really setting up for a nice run. And I think with the amount of conflict and uncertainty that we got going on right now, people are running towards running towards crypto, specifically Bitcoin. You see Ethereum starting to pop though, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Ethereum starting to pop a little bit. It's lagged the market. It's behind the market right now. I mean, theoretically, you should be looking at Ethereum probably at about 5K right now, based on where Bitcoin's price is. It just kind of fell behind the market, but that's not to say that this catch-up trade won't happen, right? That's not to say that this catch-up trade won't happen. It probably should, and I think we're starting to see it, right? We're starting to see it. Uh, what some will say about this pump? Yeah, this pump is definitely institutional money coming in. Retail money is not going to drive the market cap up that high. This is definitely institutional money coming in. Uh, XRP went on a crazy run, but XLM freaking smoked everybody, man. XLM just freaking smoked the whole freaking market, man. It just keeps blowing, man. Uh, XRP did a great run, but XLM just killed it. H bar's coming alive too. We'll get into that. Uh, Can't wait to say happy Monday, yo. It is happy Monday, man. It's happy Monday. Big Watch dudes in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Dog, how's your weekend, man? I hope your weekend was great, man. Weekend was good, man. Cryptocurrency just pumped, man. Uh can't sleep, Big Watch. Hey, Big Watch in the money, baby. Big Watch in the money. James, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, how are you, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, man. But yeah, this is definitely institutional pump, man. This is not a retailer pump. Uh, XDC pump too. You know, the whole market pump. XDC pumped, XLM pumped, XRP pumped, but XLM blew the doors off everybody. XLM is just, yo, that thing is on a rocket ship right now, and it really. I keep thinking that XLM is going to cool down a little bit, but every time I think it's going to cool down, it just ramps back up. Yeah, ISO hype is here. ISO hype is here. I would encourage you guys though when it comes to ISO. I would encourage you guys to go read the ISO 2022 official ISO 2022 frequently asked questions page. Some interesting information on there. And specifically read the part about crypto. There's tabs there. You can click on crypto. Uh, how can we tell if Fed now had any impact? You can't because they're using a blockchain called it starts with a T. I forget its name, but it doesn't have a token. So it's hard to tell. Sorry, unless you go right into that blockchain and look at their data So, but yeah, you would have to go right to their scan and look at it to see if Fed now had any impact. I think the impact really is crypto week, and I think the Genius Act is probably one of the most important acts for crypto, along with the regulation, uh, cryptocurrency regulation for putting guardrails up. I think that's what's needed, and for stable coins, I think the bill that's coming through this week too about the United States not having a CBDC, basically banning a CBDC from the United States. I think that'll pump stablecoins as well, because then there's really no competition with the federal government for stablecoins. Because you get a CBDC, it's considered a stablecoin actually. So I think uh, I think that's driving a lot of it, and I think too everybody realizes that the money printers are about to get turned back on, right? The Fed's gonna, federal government's gonna start printing some money. Everybody realizes that. Uh, 2025 mass adoption. Yeah, I think so. You're starting to see it. You've seen XLM, and Franklin Templeton put a whole bunch of RWAs on the blockchain, and that's you're going to see more and more of that. You're going to see a lot of RWAs come on. You're going to see a lot of bonds come on. You're going to start to see a lot of adoption come on right around 2020, end of 2025, 2026. You're going to see blockchains mass adoption. It's going to start. That's going to be the start of it. It's not going to be the finish of it. It's going to be the start of it. Scottish, what's going on? Good morning, my brother. How about our SPX 6900, baby? What's up, Scottish? How about that, baby? Look at that baby running, baby. Baby running. Pepe running too. Pepe ain't no joke, baby. Pepe ain't no joke. This is it. Scottish says it's time. It's time. Scottish says this is it. I think we're just touching altcoin season. I don't even really think that we're fully into altcoin season. I think we're just touching it. I think we're in for a super cycle. I think, like I said, you guys heard me before. We've been over this plenty of times. My take on it, I think we're gonna get. A ISO run. Obviously you're gonna get a Bitcoin run. It's what we're in right now. Bitcoin setting new all-time highs, seems like every other day. I think you're gonna get an ISO run, then you'll get an altcoin run, and then you'll get a short meme coin run. I don't think your meme coin run is gonna be that. When I say meme coin runs, I mean low market caps, right? I don't mean your Pepes and things like that. I mean your low market caps. I don't think that you're gonna get a long meme coin run when it comes to your low market caps. I think it's gonna be short. Scott says appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on here. Yo, man, I love doing this, man. I love doing this, Scottish. This is the highlight of my day, man. Coming on here, kicking it with my folks, man, and chilling. This seriously, because after this we gotta go back to the real world, right? Gotta go to work. Who the hell wants to do that, right? So we'll get into some coins in a minute. What coins are still good? Coins are still good. We'll get into some good buys here, James. I like FET, ASI. It hasn't had that big push-ups that everybody else had. It's still kind of lagging behind. I think Ondo's still a good buy anywhere underneath $1. I would stay away from XRP and XLM until they cool down a little bit. I think they'll cool down. And when I say cool down, I don't necessarily mean price coming down. I necessarily mean the actual buys and sells. I think that they're going to start setting support levels here pretty soon. And you want to probably get in on them support levels. But I think FET hasn't had the run that everybody expects it to right now. So I think that that's still a good one. I think Ondo's still lagging the market. I think that AVAX is still lagging the market a little bit. I think even Ethereum, right where it is at 3,000. I mean, you would have to put a lot of money to get in there and really make a lot of money to get in. But I think it's lagging the market. Obviously, I think Ethereum should be sitting at like 5K right now based on Bitcoin's price. You look at Pepe from where it is right now to its all-time high. That's still a 2x. That's still. That's still a double up from roughly a double up from where it is right now. I think get into some of your meme coins. I think Popcat's still decent. SPX 6900 anywhere between if it comes down to like 150 145 is probably a good spot to get in, and it has been floating up and down. Jasmy I still think is a good buy. Yeah, I think it's a 2x away from its all-time from its high, from its yearly high as well. So I think them are some good ones. Sui, you already have Sui, Ondo, Aerodrome. I love me some Aerodrome. Virtual is still cheap, man. It's still cheap. I like that protocol. I mean, I like that launch pad over there. It's still cheap though. Heat, pump it up, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I think Fet's still goodbye. I think Popcat's still goodbye. Uh, and we'll talk about a couple other ones, as we go down, and some price levels as well. This market, your markets can't always go up all the time, so we will get a little pullback here pretty soon. They just can't keep going up every day, so just look for the pullbacks and get in, get in. So let's look at the Asian markets. They didn't trade well. European markets over there where Ken is, they didn't trade well either because Ken's over there dumping the markets, throwing it all in Bitcoin. In the United States pre-markets, they're not going to open up well either. Looks like the stock market's going to open down a little bit, but guess what? That happens every Monday, so there's no shock there. But there was some breaking news up top of here early this morning that India's inflation rate is came down 2%, which is great for the markets. India is a huge market, a lot of people over there, and their inflation rate's coming down. And the more and more that comes down, the better off markets are. That means inflation's coming down over there, and it's a little bit better for people. It's a little bit cheaper for people to live, right? And right here, you look at some tariffs. I mean, we got to talk about these tariffs all the time, man. And eventually, at some point, we're just going to be done with it, right? At some point, they are going to be what they are, and the market's going to price them in, and we just move on, right? And that's kind of where we're hoping to be. Look, it is what it is. You got Elon over here. He's not supporting the merger between Tesla and XAI. So we'll see what happens over there. Not really a huge deal. But I want to draw your guys' attention to this stuff right over here in the stock market. You want to talk about institutional money coming into crypto. Here it is. You look at Circle, launched at $30 up to 187. It looks like it's on another. It looks like it's going to go on another run today, actually. It closed down yesterday, but if we clicked on each one of these, they would be up, right? In the aftermarket trading. And believe you me, I checked them this morning, so I know they're up. You got ETH, you got ETH A, which is BlackRock's Ethereum ETF. Looks like it's going to be trading pretty good today. Pay attention to this one, guys, because this one's going to drive the Ethereum price. As long as this thing's going up, it's going to push the Ethereum price up. You got IBIT, which is BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, up to $67. Definitely an absolute moonshot. On Friday, looks like it's going to go on another moonshot today, actually. And then you got SSK, which is the new Solana ETF, traded up a little bit. It's up a little bit in the aftermarket, so not doing too bad. But when we look at IBIT, we can click on this one, and hopefully it's still up this morning. Yeah. So you look at 67. You look at it closed at 67.21. Yeah, on Friday, and it's going to open at 69.14 as of right now. So people are starting to FOMO in, and it's going to drive. It's going to drive the Bitcoin price. And if we come, we'll look at, because these are the biggest ETFs out there, right? So this is where the big money is, right? This is what's driving the prices, right? You look at ETH A. BlackRock drives the market, and it is what it is. People, you either like it or you don't, but them are just the facts. And you see ETH A close at 22.80. Looks like it's going to open at 23.23, baby. So it's going to open higher and want to close. So it's going to drive the ETH price, So we got that in our favor for crypto today. Definitely looking real good. And with Circle, we can take a look at Circle real quick. You see Circle, it's going to open up a little bit higher than what it closed yesterday. On Friday, about 30 something cents higher. So not terribly higher, but this is all positive news, right? This is all positive news for the market. So definitely love what we're seeing right now, and love what we got going on over here in the markets. Cryptocurrency, stock markets don't look like they're going to open great today, but crypto market looks like it's going to be rolling a little bit this morning. And I think a lot of that's based off the war. People are kind of running for safety. they're looking at Bitcoin and crypto as a safer bet. You know. Uh, okay. All right, Ken. Do your thing. Uh, never heard of that. Never heard of that procedure. I never heard of that procedure either, man. I mean, someone, do your thing, man. But I never heard of that procedure either. But I hope you're good. I hope you're good, Selma. You good, man? But it is crypto week over there in Congress. Uh, thanks for the advice. No, we'll be looking at some more coins here, Ken. We'll be going down through some stuff. Exciting times. Exciting times. Yeah, Heat's been hanging in there for a while too. So I know you're excited, Heat. I hope your bags are looking nice, 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 nice. Selmo says he's all good. Good. We can't have you all broke up, Selmo. Can't have you all broke up, man. You got to be good, man. Can't be broke up when you make these millions. You can't be broke up, man. You got to be in good health, ready to spend this money, baby. Yeah, you gotta be ready to spend this money somewhere. So what we got going on over here in the crypto market, guys? 70. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting at 70. Definitely in greed. Pay attention to this. It's going to be pretty important. As soon as we get to extreme greed, you're going to start to see people sell off. And then we look at the altcoin season sitting here at 32 out of 100. You see, we're not that far in the altcoin season, guys. This is what I keep telling you guys. Like, chill. I mean, like, we're like just right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still got to go up to 100 to get to full altcoin season. So we're just scratching the surface, y'all. We're just scratching the surface, man. So the price action looks good for us, right? Because we've been buying the whole bear market, right? So we've been buying dirt cheap. So these prices are juicy to us. But remember, the majority of retail is just starting to dip their toe in, right? So when your Uber driver starts to talk about buying Bitcoin, you're probably going to be over here in extreme greed, right? When the person working at the hotel starts to talk about buying Pepe, you're probably going to be over here in extreme greed. Probably start taking some money off the table, because that's when you know that you have FOMO from retail, and retail they'll get dumped on. Someone's ready. Someone's ready to join. Yo, someone's ready to join that 2 comma club, baby. Who else ready to join that 2 comma club, baby? That 2 comma club. You can only have 2 commas in your bank account if you got a million or better, right? Who else ready to join that 2 comma club, baby? That's what we're trying to do. So cake and hookers. Jay says cake and hookers. Oh my god. All right, but you spend your money how you want to spend your money, dog. But yeah, we're an extreme geek. But see, like this is where like I'm telling people, you're like, we're just starting, right? We're just starting over here at altcoin season. Look at this market cap though, 3.8 trillion. 3.8 trillion. There's never been more money in the market than there is right now. There's never been more money in the cryptocurrency market than there is right now. Like, think about that. 2 commas, 7 zeros. That's right, baby. That's right. That's right. Big Watch knows the math. Big Watch knows the math. Can you join the 2 comma club, baby? Can you get into two? If you can get into the 2 comma club, you're living pretty good. Can't wait, Big Watch. Yeah, that's the goal, right? That's the goal. But yeah, 3.8 trillion. There's never been more money in the market, right? And I know we go up and down here, but let's just call it what it is, man. And this is institutional money. Retail money's not sitting here pumping this market cap up the way that it's pumping it up, right? Like this is institutional money, and it further proves it out by like here's Friday's numbers, right? Look at the Bitcoin ETF inflows plus, look at it, 100,000 million billion, $1.234 billion in a positive inflow into these ETFs. Let's check that out. Look at them numbers. Look at them numbers between Bitcoin's ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. Just take a minute, take a step back, right? When people try to say, "Oh, we know where Bitcoin's going, or we know where Ethereum's going, or we know where XRP is going to go when it gets to spot ETFs, or we know where Solana's going to go," look at these numbers. You're talking billion, right? $1.2 billion of positive inflows into these ETFs. Who would have projected that in 2024? Not many people. Not many people would have projected that, right? And this number's only going to get bigger the more ETFs that come out. This number's only going to get bigger, right? This is institutional money here, folks. Retail money doesn't have $1.2 billion to flow into the ETFs. And understand that this is just the United States markets, right? We're not talking about the EU markets. We're not talking about people putting Bitcoin into their businesses and things like that. This is straight ETF volume, $1.2 billion. That's not money that we can even think about, right? As retail investors, you can't even think on that level, right? So just look at them numbers, right? You got, your Bitcoin dominant sitting at 63.8 and your Ethereum dominant sitting at 9.6. I want to see that Ethereum dominance up to 10. Got to see this Bitcoin dominance come down a little bit. I just, with this much money flowing into Bitcoin, how far is that dominance going to drop though? It's not going to have the drop that that it used to have during old altcoin runs. Not going to have that drop. So how far down does this dominance go? It's got to come down in order for altcoins to really, really take off. But how far down does it come? Then I pay attention to these open liquidations, right? Open interest means open liquidations, right? So you're looking at $797.02 billion in longs and shorts sitting out there right now, right? So I can tell you from looking at the chart that there's just as many longs as there is shorts, right? Which going into Monday is going to be a little touchy, and it's something to pay attention to. And I don't want to rain on your parade, but it's something to pay attention to, right? So if you're coming over here, let's pull up Bitcoin real quick. Pull up BTC real quick here. Got to find it on our chart. These things keep moving around as the prices keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. But we'll see where Bitcoin falls today. There's Stacks, Quant, XRP, XLM. Damn. There we go. There's BTC. I know I seen it. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Let's say there's a bunch of shorts that are sitting up here. Actually, a bunch of shorts got absolutely demolished last night because there was a ton of shorts sitting up here at like 118 and a half, and they just got demolished, right? So when you look at it, they shorted the market. They got absolutely crushed. You got people that have longed the market, right? And, they're doing pretty well, right? So when you look at that, big money is going to open up this morning, BlackRock, Fidelity, and everybody else, and they're going to say, we got a crap ton of longs that are sitting down here that came in here right around this 115, 117 mark, right? So we may want to come down here, liquidate all of them longs, drop the price, liquidate all of them longs before we make this next move up. Because they already came up here and crushed the shorts, sitting at 121.4 right now. It came up here and crushed the shorts, right? The liquidation levels up there were just absolutely nuts, right? Now you're going to come down. Now they may come down. This may happen. They may come down, crush the longs, and then make the next move back to the upside. So just be prepared for that, because institutions, they don't like a lot of longs and a lot of shorts sitting in the market. So they liquidate the hell out of them, right? So don't be surprised if you see a quick drop in Bitcoin and a quick pump up, and that quick drop is institutional money's liquidating them shorts. So because wrecking them longs, because there's a ton of longs out there that they're probably going to wreck, right? Yeah, institutions are setting themselves up right now. Curtis, Selmo. There's no doubt about that, right? Institutions are setting themselves up. They want, pretty soon they want to price you out of Bitcoin first, is what they're trying to do, right? They're really trying to make it so that no retail investor really can afford to own a Bitcoin. That's their first goal and their first objective, and that's kind of what's happening as you see this price start to continually go up. What's up, Seiko? Oh man, your EBT counts as 7 zeros. No wonder you up in here, baby. No wonder you up in here. Good morning, baby. Good morning. What's going on? You better go get your girl Maxine Waters over there talking all crazy about Crypto Week, man. You better go grab her, man. You better go look. Better go grab her. You and Nancy better go grab her, Seiko. But yeah, you got BSC still crushing the chain, 5.6. So if BSC's crushing this chain right here, right, where the majority of these swaps done? They're done on Cake, right? Pancake swap. Pancake swap might not be a bad look here on a pullback. I haven't looked at it in a while. Might not be a bad look on a pullback. Look at the amount of volume that BSC has over there. The majority of that volume is coming from Pancake swap. So look at that. You got Solana sitting over here. 3.1 billion. Not too bad. Not too bad at all for Solana. Really pumping up, right? Ethereum coming in at 1.7 billion. Again, lagging the market a little bit. Base just under a billion, 981 million. Not bad for Sunday volume. Remember, guys, this is Sunday volume right here. Because you haven't flipped that full 24 hours yet. So that's not bad for Sunday volume. That's really good volume on chain for Sunday. And we got the bubbles over here. The hour's not looking too bad. I expected like a little bit of a bigger pullback here when it came to people waking up this morning and looking at $122,000 Bitcoin and a $3,000 Ethereum. I expected really people to come in and really start to kind of maybe nuke the market a little bit, with profit taking, but it's not bad. I mean, it's red, but if you look at it, it's not terribly in red. You look at the day over here, the day looks absolutely phenomenal. Everything looks good over here. It's Scottish. I don't know why you are messing with this with this M coin right here. But I hope you were able to regain some of your longs and shorts, but the market actually looks pretty good on the day. I mean, like I said, on the hour, you got to expect these pullbacks to happen on the hour. You got to expect a cool off, right? And that's just what's happening right now. But Pancake Swap might be something that we're going to look at here in the near future, because BSC chain has been absolutely moving it, right? Stellar's pumping, man. Stellar's been pumping all weekend, man. And here's the thing: there was a bullish divergence going on a chart with Stellar, and Stellar caught it, which is highly unlikely. Whereas if the price is going up and the RSA is going down, right? And usually that means pullback, right? Usually that means pullback. That means you're cooling off a little bit, and your price is still going up, but you're cooling off a little bit. Look at the Stellar chart right now. This is a 4 hour chart, right? This 4 hour chart on Stellar sitting at 45 cents right now. Look at that chart right there. Absolutely pulling away. And this is why I tell people wait for a pullback, right? If you're not in Stellar, don't chase it. Wait for a pullback. Look at how far that is off of its moving averages, right? Everything always pulls back into the moving averages, right? So this thing will run hot. It'll run hot. You see the averages starting to come up, but as soon as it starts to pull back, you know, into these moving averages, just that's kind of where you want to start to get into some of these things. You don't want to chase this thing up to the top. And think about your moving averages. Like this is the average price that people pay for a product, right? So let's say that this is up off of the moving averages 15%. So would you go in the store and pay 15% more for the same product that you paid for yesterday? Probably not, right? So wait for it to pull back into the moving averages. That's the average price that it's going for, and then you're at least you're buying it in the averages, right? At least you're buying it at the average price at that given time. I want to buy it all the way up here. You're like going in a store and buying something that's marked up. If you're in it, like we're in it, that's a great push up, right? Yeah, Stellar's insane right now. And the reason is like you have the RWAs finally starting to come out on Stellar, right? They're finally starting to push them, right? So we should finally start to see some volume over there, right? Which is exactly what everybody's been waiting for. You see XRP sending it to, got up to $3, some change. You knew that they were going to pull it back from $3. You knew people were going to sell off at $3. Sitting at $2.99 right now. You knew it because remember, we were buying XRP way down here at 33 cents, right? So think about that. That's almost 10x for people. Well, yeah, it's almost 10x for people that have been sitting on this thing forever, right? So that $3 is a hot sell price, right? For XRP. So it's gonna have to fight through this $3 mark before it can make its run back to the upside. There's a lot of people gonna be taking profits right there. Yeah, Fet. I like Fet. Fet's one of my AI plays. Yo, I'm clocking it. All right, have a good one, Junior. Have a good one, my brother. Have a good one. But yeah, like I said, XRP. You know, $3. They're gonna push it off of this $3 mark, probably for a little bit here. You can see, you know, you can see the push off of $3. Just a lot of people are close to a 10x on that, right? So they're going to push that. But I think XRP will build up a support line there, though. I think that's where people will start to get in. That's where the new retail investors about to are about to come in, right around that $293 area. People that have been sitting on the sidelines, people that don't really know about crypto, people that are like, people that are like, oh yeah, like your next door neighbor, they're hearing about XRP, they're gonna start coming in right there, right around that $3 mark. So hopefully it builds support up there. Um, Stacks, one we haven't talked about in a while, but one that I own, up to up to 82 cents. Made a nice move here over the past week, right? Stacks made a nice move. I like Stacks just because on the Bitcoin network, people over there are going to FOMO into it. I don't use it. I don't use Stacks. I don't really trade on the Bitcoin network, but it is what it is. I am going to invest where the money is, and I think that Stacks is with the Bitcoin maxis and everybody else. I think that'll take that project will move a little bit, even a little bit further. XDC up to 8 cents right now. XDC had a nice move, pull it back over the week. That's a nice move over a 1 week period. You look at the high being about 8 cents too, right there over the week, and the low. I want to say the low was around 6 cents, somewhere up in there. So that's a nice move for XDC up over a week. XDC, yeah, good project. A lot of real world tokenized assets going on over there. So I like that. Uh, my expectations for Congress's Crypto Week Big Watch is, I think the Genius Act, you'll finally start to see that done. I think you'll start to see the cryptocurrency regulation bill done, and I think you'll see the CBDC bill, which basically bans CBDCs from the United States. I think you'll see that maybe not done this week, but you'll actually start to see what the framework of that looks like. And I think you'll see them things, right? And I think the Genius Act probably being for institutional investors, right? The Genius Act is probably the most important short-term bill, and the regulation piece being the most crucial long-term bill. CBDCs, they're bullish for stable coins. I think you'll see stable coins, their market cap get bigger because of that. So I just think I think you'll see Fed now. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of talk about Fed now. But remember, a lot of the Fed now transactions are ran through that blockchain that starts with a T. I can't remember its name. It doesn't even have a token though, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of them guys are using that is because there's no cryptocurrency token attached to that blockchain. So Fed now is going to be going to get more publicity, but I think you're going to see the Genius Act is probably the most important. The most important bill right now early on, but I think the long term success of crypto here in the United States is going to be the cryptocurrency regulation bill, which I think you'll see a lot of progress on this week, if not passed this week. You do have a lot of opposition to cryptocurrency in Congress. You have your Elizabeth Warrens of the world, your Maxine Waters of the world, your Nancy Pelosi's of the world, people like that who have made a crap ton of money off the stock market, who don't want to see this shift come because their money's over there in the stock market, right? So they're going to do whatever they can to step on crypto. Maxine Waters came out with a letter to people talking about this is anti-crypto week. I think that's very short-sighted. I don't think that a lot of people are on that bandwagon, and this is a problem that that they have, right? The older people have is, let's face it, Trump started to really gain a lot of ground when he started talking about cryptocurrency regulation and adopting cryptocurrency in his campaign, right? And people that fight that are probably on the losing side of that battle, right? They're on the losing side of that battle. But I do like the anti CBDC bill as well. So I think that's my expectations for Crypto Week. Genius bill passed, cryptocurrency regulation passed, and maybe some framework for the anti CBDC. There's a lot of moving parts, Ken. There's tons. Selmo, there's a lot of moving parts because when you look at it, you have that, and then you have Trump keeps teasing this big announcement about Russia. And you don't want that to nuke the markets. And then you have all this tariff stuff out there, right? So like there's so many moving parts. There's so many different moving parts to all of this that you just have to stay agile, right? You have to stay ready to move in these markets. You were thinking you said that, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I You were sitting right above, so I was like, oh, there he is. But yeah. So you have to be really agile in these markets, and it's one of these things. But these markets are very lucrative markets, right? And I have this hourly chart up, and when you look at it, when you look at this hourly chart, you would look at these bubbles, right? And you would say, well, damn, that market doesn't look good at all, right? Well, let me move over here. Let me move over here to the daily. I don't know. You tell me how good that market looks, though. XDC up 11%, Algo up 16%. What you're starting to see is these United States-based cryptos move, right? You're starting to see your Algorand's move. You're starting to see your XRPs move. You're starting to see a lot of these cryptos that are based here in the United States. You're starting to see them on the move. And Kronos is another one really to watch out for. This one's going to be in that bucket of cryptos that Trump's going to put a spot ETF out for. Trump's company put a spot ETF out for. Um, and I do think that the next big movers on the spot ETF market after XRP are these bucket ETFs. And that the Trump media has put out a spot ETF proposal for a bucket ETF. Kronos is in there. It's got a large portion of it in there. You see it back up to 11 cents, right? This is a crypto right here that has lagged the market so bad. I mean, this thing is way, way, way behind the market. Does it have a catch up trade in it? Right. That's the question, right? Can Crow catch the market? Because based on the market conditions right now, where Bitcoin is, where Ethereum is, where the rest of the market is, Crow should be way above 11 cents. Way above 11 cents, right? So this thing just absolutely got beat down. You look at it, this is why it's important for the moving averages, for people to look at the moving averages. When you look at it coming off of this high right here, you look at it, it rolled the bottom half of these moving averages all the way down. Literally just got beat on its head, beat on its head, beat on its head, all the way down through here, right? Before it started to make this turn and push to the upside, right? This was the Trump announcement probably like over in here somewhere. But you look at that, and this thing has just been beat up and beat up bad. Like, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Kronos has underperformed so badly. But the key to that is, does it have a catch-up trade in it, right? Uh, does it have a catch-up trade? If it does, if Kronos has a catch-up trade in it, and it starts to catch the market, which you're looking at it, right here was the key for me. Does it break above this 200-day moving average right here, this red line? Does it break above there? Does it stay above there? And can it maintain above there, right? There were the three questions I had about Kronos, and I did all three. It did all three, right? So when you see that and you see something about that, like now we're in a reversal. This thing rolled the moving averages all the way down. Just showed you it bumped its head all the way down on the moving averages. Now look at it now look at it spring off of the moving average. It's riding above it and then springs to the upside. Kronos is in a situation right now where it absolutely can send it. Now, is that to say that it will send it? We'll see, right? Obviously, we don't know. Crypto's crypto, right? So anything can happen on a daily basis. But what I'm telling you is that this setup right here says that Crow could be a massive sender. Uh, I was sick of it too, man. I got sick of talking about Crow. But here's the thing, right here, I still have some Crow. Uh, but right here, everybody starts to get sick of hearing about Crow, right? And it just continues to fall, continues to fall, continues to fall. Now all of a sudden, everybody's starting to think about Crow again, right? Everybody's starting to think about Kronos again. And you see this boom, 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 all the way up, right? Now Crow's got legs, right? Crow, nothing fundamentally changed with Kronos, right? Except for the fact that they're just continue to be regulatory compliant with a bunch of other countries, and World Trade Liberty Fi or whatever it's called. They're the custodian for their ETFs, right? So when you look at that, like there's a lot of great news around Crow, and now it's starting to catch this market, right? So it's one that if you want to take a flyer on it and say that this thing's going to continually send because the setup says that it's going to send. If you want to take a flyer on it and say that this thing's going to move, could it get to $1.10? Oh yeah, that would be just the catch-up trade that it needs because it's lagged the market so bad. It's 10x away from here. The other one that I like a lot that I think H bar. H bar had a nice, nice run, right? When we look at it, we've been talking about Hedera for a while, and we were talking about it at way down at 16 cents and 15 cents. It had a great push to the upside, right? When you look at it over the week, again, we're getting into these ISO tokens, right? And I told you guys, I think that the ISO run's going to come before the actual altcoin run. So when you look at it, and this is just ISO FOMO, right? Nobody knows what these blockchains are going to do, if they're going to do anything during the ISO run. I mean, let's keep it 100, right? Let's keep it 100. Nobody can predict this, right? But this is the FOMO coming in, right? You look at 23 cents right now. Had a nice, massive, massive push up. Pushed up to 20, pushed up 24 cents over the past 25 cents over the past week. So definitely, it's on a little bit of a pullback, uh, not terrible, not terrible. But I do like where it is. But Crow definitely could be a mashup, a massive Crow. If Crow moves, it's going to be a massive move. It's not going to be a short move. It's going to be a massive move. Looking at Pepe, like I said, you get over here to Pepe, you're looking at 401,225. You look back over here at the high. We got to start looking at some of these highs. You're looking at 402, 4025, 4022 up in there somewhere. So you're 2x off from that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been buying so early. Like, these are massive moves for us. But somebody coming in, they literally can get a 2x off of just getting back to its high, right? You look at Popcat. I think Popcat is gonna do well this bull run as well. You look at it, it's a little high right now, 38 cents. You see it's running hot, starting to come down a little bit, running a little hot. I'd wait. I think the thing will cool off to about 35 cents, and that'll be good. But the other one that everybody slept on, just like Kronos for a long time, and it was in the exact same situation. You've seen it up here coming off of this high, and it literally banged its head off the bottom half of these moving averages forever, and now it's popping. It's popping again. Is Jasmine. sitting at 1.7, 1 cent, 1 cent 69, call it 1.7, right? It's popping again. It did the same thing as Crow. It just played around here for a long time after it beat its head all the way down. And now it's starting to ride above these moving averages and is absolutely sending. And when you look at it, this got to 5 cents not too long ago. So if it just can get back to 5 cents, you're looking at some massive gains there. But a lot of people got sick of Jasmy, right? Just like they got sick of Crow, they got sick of Jasmy. They got sick of talking about it. They got sick of hearing about it. They got sick of no information coming out, and they were starting to sell off. Well, now you're starting to see that hype coming in. And now you're starting to see this thing really, really pop off. Ethereum doing pretty well. But I do like this Jasmy trade right here. I if I was going to take a flyer on 2 trades right now, I would wait for the Crow to come back to around 10 cents. It will pull back. I'd wait for that to come around 10 cents. And I'd wait for Jasmy to pull back right around 1.5 cents. And I would jump in 1.5 cents. If I was just getting in right now and I was looking at it and I was saying short term trade, I would take that Jasmy trade at 1.5 and sell it at 5 cents when it got back up to its old high. And I would take that Crow trade at 10 cents, and I would look at getting out of that right around $1. You know. Yeah, I remember when Jasmy was at 4 cents too. But I also remember when we were buying Jasmy, right? We were buying Jasmy all the way back when it was 2033. And I still hold my position from 2033. Understand? Like, yeah, I sold off on a little bit. Obviously, take my profits. I ain't stupid. But I still hold a nice size bag of Jasmy from 2033. Because we were buying that in the bear market, right? We're beating our head on that in the bear market. Ondo, I think, is still cheap as hell. At 94 cents. I would definitely wait for this thing to pull back to about 90 cents before I got in. 2032. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Big Watts. Yeah, you remember. We were on it, Big Watts. We were on it. We were like, hold on, man. This thing got a lot of room to run, baby. This thing got a lot of room to run. And it didn't disappoint. That's for sure. Like, you think about it, you look at it now, and like people are jumping in it, and you're looking at it like, yeah, or whatever, man. We've been in that thing since 2003. You know, thing gets to 3 cents, it's 10x, right? You know, 3.2, that's 10x, right? Like, just hold on. But Ondo, I really like Ondo. I think it's being suppressed right now by big money. That's why I say wait for this thing right here to pull back to about 90 cents. Go ahead and jump back in. I like Ondo there. AVAX continually this one underperformed the market as well. So I'm looking for AVAX to really start to gain some ground here. 21.7. I mean, we say gain ground, but this thing has been on an absolute move here in the last week. But when you look at the percent gains for AVAX over top of the percent gains for the rest of the market over the past month and a half, they've actually been pretty low, right? So I think AVAX is going to explode. This is going to be the number one blockchain for gaming when it's all said and done. That's where their money is going to be made, is in gaming, and it's going to be the number one blockchain for gaming. And when that thing pops, it's going to pop. I do believe that AVAX is going to make a monster run. We look at Sui over here. This is ETH 3,949 coming down. Am I right? No, this is Sui. Look at Sui here. I was like, damn, that don't sound right. I better go get rid of some ETH if it's at 3,900. But when we look at it, $3.95 right now. Trying to push $4, but look how far it is off of the moving averages, right? So definitely expect a little bit of sell pressure coming in here, but I do expect it probably to crack that $4 mark before that happens. But one of the ones that a lot of people are asking about is ZBEC. And let me tell you, we've been making money off of ZBEC, and let me just show you how we've been doing it. It's a 4-hour chart. Here's your 200-day moving average, right? You set your line right there, right? Let's do this real quick. If you were to set a line right here at the 200-day moving day, which is a big trader line, right? Huge trading line, 200-day. A lot of traders use that to get in and out of positions. So we'll just do this real quick. So I don't know if my lines will actually be extremely straight, but they'll be close enough. So, and you come down here and you set this line right here. Look at where this thing's trading. Look at where this thing's trading right here. It can't break the 200-day moving average. It can't break it. So literally, you could buy here, you could sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, and you could put a limit order in to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here all day long, and it's just on rinse and repeat for them guys. They can't break this 200-day. Why can't they break the 200-day? Ask yourself that question. I don't know. Ask yourself that question. I'm telling you that a lot of traders trade off of this 200-day. So you tell me why ZBEC can't break the 200 moving average. Maybe it can. Maybe it will. Who knows? But it damn sure hasn't. And I know we've taken this trade, this trade, this trade, this trade, this trade, this trade, and we will continue to take them trades. And of course, I'm doing it with leverage, right? So I set in a long here at about between a 5 and a 10x. I'll put my sell order in right here, and then I'll put another buy order in here, and here, and here, and we'll just rinse and repeat that until I lose. But if I win 6 times and I lose once, did I really lose? I don't know. You do the math on that. But yeah, so a lot of people talking about ZBEC, but we can't break 200 days. So to me, it is what it is. But yeah, BTC sitting here. It's in here. It's coming down a little bit. You seen it? It was up at 122,000, but definitely coming down a little bit. But I like where the ISO tokens are right now. But again, I would encourage you guys to go read the ISO frequently asked questions. ISO frequently asked questions, cryptocurrency. And you come back and you guys tell me what you think. We can have that conversation. Come back, tell me what you think. We can have that conversation. Airdrone, huge on Airdrone. Think that this is going to be a monster. Moved up to 85 cents. This thing going to be a monster. 6 out of 7. Hey, that's what I say too, Big Watch. I take them odds, baby. I'll take them odds. But like, I mean, you just, it's the psychological. It's a cycle. You got to play off the psychological of people, right? They see that 200 moving day average, they sell off on it, and if a lot of people were given a lot of tokens, they use that 200-day moving average as a way to liquidate their positions as well. So, they try to get out, But yeah, Airdrome doing his thing over here. Just continually doing his thing. But yeah. You know who else really is doing really well on this uptrend right here? Is With, right? Again, a project that was completely beat down, and we talked about it. This thing was completely beat down over here at this says 67 cents, but we can pull this chart back, and it was even down further. We were talking about it even down further, but you look at this thing, it was beat down, man, and it's back above $1, right? This thing is on the move. But I'm going to tell you, I think WIF is going to do really well on a Solana chain. But I do think that Bonk's going to do better. And I'll tell you why I think Bonk's going to do better. Because regardless of what anybody thinks, Bonk itself is either built by or they know who built it and are backing them by the Solana team. So I do think when we look at Bonk, you look at Bonk where it is right now. 4026, right? Let's just pull this thing back a month. It was sitting at 4011. It's basically 2x. It's basically a 2x from where it was just a month ago at its low, right? So over a 2x from where it was, right? So when you look at this, it's starting to really gain ground on WIF, and I think it will pass WIF. And I think it's because the Solana devs, the Solana team, either built this or are close with the people who built this, and they're going to push the hell out of this thing. They need it to be the number one meme coin on Solana. Mm. 887 and added 2. Yeah, I look at it and you go trade the Hall of Fame, baby. We in the Hall of Fame. We at HOF, baby. Hall of Fame, baby. But yeah, so when we look at Bonk, man, I think Bonk's that play on Solana over there. I think it's that thing. Matter of fact, let's look. Let's have a look and see where our top meme coins are at. In this nice run up, because I don't think meme coins, the big meme coins aren't getting that. You're not seeing the run that people expected because they're all coming in ISO tokens in the top 25, top 50, somewhere up in there. But you still see Doge at number 1. Nobody's catching Doge. You see Shib sitting here at number 2. Pepe's on that ass. But it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Look at market cap. What's that? 8.1 bill, 5.2 bill. Pepe's on that ass. And then you got Bonk. It's right here. It's right here. They will keep this thing at the number 1 meme coin on Solana. They'll keep it. It passed Trump, right? It passed the Trump coin. Everybody, oh my God, Trump coin is the number one meme token on Solana, and it took all the liquidity and everything else. And here's the deal. The Solana devs are not going to allow Bonk not to be the number 1 meme token on Solana. Not when they created it or know who created it. So, Trump token will do well. It just won't do as well as Bonk. And then you got SPX 6900 right here. Sitting here doing this thing. 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion. I think we were telling you guys this at like $500 million, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere up in there. But yeah, it's doing its thing. But yeah, Bonk, there it is. I mean, it's up there, and it won't catch Pepe. I don't think. He's gonna catch Pepe. But I do think Pepe is on Shib's ass. Ooh, boy. I can't wait for this day to happen right here. I can't wait for this day to happen. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait for that. Because when that happens, oh, you're going to see a lot of mad people out here. You're going to see it. They're going to be a Shib army that, they going to get upset. They're going to be mad as hell. And there's going to be a lot of people sitting right here talking about, told you, Toto. Told you, Toto. But all right, guys, we up out of here for the day. Let's take one last look at this market. Get up out of here. I got to go do some payroll. Look at this hour. Still red. Market's still coming down a little bit, cooling off. No need to worry. No need to panic. Don't even blink. Excuse me. Don't even blink. Look at. I really encourage you guys to go over here, get on TradingView, pull up your tokens, pull up your moving averages. Start to look at these some of these projects you want to get into. Wait for them to pull back. Pull up the 4-hour chart. Don't pull up the hour chart or the 15-minute chart. Not going to do anything for you. It's not going to do anything for you. Pull up the 4-hour chart or the daily chart. Wait for these things to pull back into these EMAs right here, and then that's your buying point. Wait for that pullback. They always will come back. Just be patient. Just be patient. But pull up what you want to buy or what you're in. Go ahead and monitor these things. Look at these things. And more importantly, guys, as we start to move more and more towards altcoin season, start to really, really put your exit strategy together. You know what I mean? You're at 32 out of 100, so it's not imperative right now that you have a 100% exit strategy, but start to put your exit strategy together for each one of the projects that you're in, and don't sit here and say, XRP is $2.97. I'm going to hold this thing till it's $20. You might get left holding in the bag, right? So your exit strategy, make sure you at a double up, take your initial. My strategy is at a double up, I take my initial. At another level, I might chip away at another, so many percent, chip away at another, all the way up. So if it does reach 20, then I'm still in it and I'm still riding, but I am taking profits on the way up too, because the last thing you want is to be holding a bag. There's a lot of people that have seen $1 million in their wallet in crypto. They were crypto millionaires, and then they ended up being crypto thousandaires because they didn't take profits, right? Don't be that person, right? Don't be that person. Have an exit strategy. Know what you're going to do. Know when you're going to take your profits. Know when you're going to take your initials, and never feel bad about doing that. So with that, guys, we up out of here, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a great day. Enjoy the ride. And we'll keep doing what we do. And appreciate all you guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Hit that share button on your way out. We up out of here. Bye.